Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Clouds. Welcome back to your boy's channel. Got some new GPO content. A little bit confused on what I should upload on GPO. So we're doing a devil fruit tier list today. Updated devil fruit tier list. Since you know Ito no Me and everything came out. Hopefully y'all boys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you can get notified whenever your boy uploads a video. We are on the road to 70k subs. Love y'all boys. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, so first off, I feel like I have to mention this, but this is just strictly my opinion. There's some things that I may have hot takes on, and the reason they're called hot takes is because, you know, it's just based off of my experience, and the rest of the community may not agree with them, which is completely fine. But this is also going to be an overall tier list, not just strictly PvP like my previous tier lists I've done. That being said, let's get straight into F tier. As you guys can see, I've labeled this the no potential tier, as you know, both of these fruits literally have no potential. Suke can't really be used for anything PvP or PvE related. I mean, you can make it work, but it's, you know, it'd be mostly carried by either the sword damage or the fighting style. Suke itself wouldn't be contributing towards much, in my opinion. Same thing goes with Kilo. Kilo just like as the tier says, it has no potential. Like these fruits, there's no applicable way you can use them good. Next one, C tier. I put this decent for PvP/PvE, and let me just briefly explain before you guys go in the comments hating. I know a lot of people get upset when I like underrate or quote unquote underrate Gomu. I just don't think Gomu in the current state right now is as good as people think it is. It's a rare, which makes sense. It's not inherently that good for PvP, and it's not inherently that, well, actually it's kind of garbage for PvE. So especially after the Gatling nerfs, you can no longer really use it to farm dungeons efficiently anymore. So I just feel like that's why I kind of place Gomu in C tier where it's at. It's not like a terrible fruit. It's decent. You can make it work, but there's so many other better options. Even in the rare category, there's so many other better options that you can go for than Gomu. Bari. Now Bari's also on this list just because Bari's not inherently good for PvP either or PvE. I mean, we've got Bari Cage, but you know, half the time that doesn't even work. It flings you out of it. And yeah, that's the only thing it's ever been good for PvP. And I'm pretty sure that combo, that cheese, got nerfed. That's what they did in update like 4.5. They nerfed pretty much most of the cheese, so that's why Bari goes where it is. By the way, C tier, you know, C tier is like you could make C tiers work. That's why it's like titled it decent for PvP/PvE. You can make it work, but it's just these fruits have a completely, you know, noticeable disadvantage over other fruits that are literally even just above the tier higher that you guys will notice. Last one, Spin. The only reason it spins here is just because I'm pretty sure it still can do the PvP combo, which makes it somewhat decent, even though it has literally no PvE potential whatsoever. I think the combo, the spin combo, up tilt and the spin collect clone still works. If not, let me know. If it doesn't work, spin automatically goes F tier. If it does work, I'd say spin could be C tier for PvP. B tier. These are solid all around fruits. You can make them work for both PvE and PvP. However, there could be better options. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say. Obviously, I made a video titled, you know, Ito is the most busted fruit in the game or whatever like that. For PvP, I do believe Ito is one of the best fruits for the game. That's the thing. This is not a PvP only list. This is an overall list, and Ito has very little PvE potential. You know, I had the fruit. I was trying to do dungeons with it. There's only like one move. There's only actually two moves in this entire kit that you could even consider decent for PvP. And that's Overheated Whip and Bird Cage. One of them you need an alt, so you're not going to be able to do that all the time in dungeons. And then Overheated Whip does have a really long cooldown, so it's not going to be something you're going to really spam. Every other thing is more like single target moves, and it doesn't really have good AoE or damage. So that's why I placed Ito where I placed it. Zushi, even though I'm a Zushi fanboy myself, Zushi is actually one of my favorite fruits in the game. You gotta admit, even though it has good PvP potential, its PvE potential really holds the fruit back. And even then, the PvP potential is not all crazy either. Since they've nerfed the airtime and up tilts, you can no longer do up tilt and the pull. That's not a true combo. So Zushi did lose quite a bit of its steam after that nerf, and that's kind of why I placed Zushi where I did. Bomu, a lot of people will argue that Bomu is like really good for grinding, and while it is for being just a rare, there's so many other better options for farming. You're not gonna be able to farm efficiently with Bomu. It gets the job done, but it's not exactly that good. And Bomu is solid for PvP as well, so that's why I placed Bomu where it is. Horo, after the nerf to the dungeon strat, it really has like almost no PvE capabilities to it. It's still solid for PvP due to the negative hollow. It really does get carried by negative hollow, I'm not gonna lie. So that's kind of why I feel like it doesn't get higher than B tier, because it's just carried by that one move, negative hollow, and it has no PvE potential anymore. So yeah, that's wrapping up B tier, solid all around. You can definitely make any one of these fruits work in any way possible. And this, like the title says, solid all around. Definitely good for many different things. All right, so now we have A tier. Maybe a little bit of a hot take on A tier. Starting out with Marrow. I know what some of you guys are going to be thinking. Why is Marrow in A tier when Ito didn't get A tier? Well, here's the thing. Marrow is just really dumb dominant in PvP. Like, all the different type of builds, all the different type of combos, it's dumb. If you've ever watched Rashad, he's a very big advocate for Marrow and how good Marrow is. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. You know, you got Fishbed Marrow, obviously Blackleg Marrow. Marrow with any decent weapon is a nightmare to deal with. You got damn near infinite combos with Marrow. Even some infinite combos, I'm pretty sure. Drag got combos, which always coming up with loops and stuff. It's just a dumb fruit. While it doesn't have as much PvE capabilities, its sheer dominance in PvP is more than enough to, you know, put it in A tier. It's more than deserving for that. If you have Marrow and you're wanting to do PvE, it's probably not the best choice for that, I won't lie. But PvP, never can go wrong with Marrow. Never can go wrong with Marrow. Gora. Gora is here because I think it's just good for everything. Good for dungeons. It's really good as a support role. If you ever done 2v2s with Gora, it's really good for that. Team comboing, team synergy, Gora is good for that. And it's also not bad for anything, really. Like, solid for PvP, actually really good for PvP, no matter how you look at it. 1v1s, 2v2s, dominates in those, obviously. Good for dungeons as well. It's also good as a support role in dungeons as well. If you've ever done Cupid boss or, you know, regular dungeons, have a Gora user grab them, and then everyone just goes ape and just spams all their moves on the boss. That's just, you know, a couple of the things Gora is really good for all around, right? That's kind of why I placed Gora in A tier. Really good support, really good, you know, damage as well, high AoE, no matter how you look at it. So I think that, you know, it's well deserving of the spot it got. Tori, this one might be a bit of a hot take too. Like, I might even think Tori might be deserving of even higher, like S tier. Because with the new buffs to every fighting style, you could do stuff like 2-sword style Tori, Fishman Tori, now with Geppo, which makes that even a more deadly combo than it already was, because now you got the mobility with it. And yeah, like, we don't even need to bring up Tori. Like, as far as PvE, Tori is really good. Tori's always been able to solo dungeons. We all know this. It's really good as a support role as well. Again, just like Gora, using it in 2v2s is a deadly combo. Being able to heal your opponents and stuff like that. And Tori's getting a rework soon, so obviously when he gets a rework, we will be revisiting Tori. But no matter how you look at it, I mean, it's a solid option. It's a mythical fruit. Definitely is a solid choice for both PvP and PvE. So that's kind of why I placed it where I placed it. And again, this may even been a bit of a hot take, you know, saying Tori might have been deserving of an even higher place than this. Goro, I'm not gonna lie, out of my entire year plus of playing Grand Peace Online, Goro has just maintained a dominance in PvP, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad for PvE either. I feel like some people underestimate Goro's PvE capabilities. When I had Goro, I was still able to solo dungeons on Skypiea map, Tropical map. I don't know if I was ever able to do it on Coliseum, but I was able to solo dungeons relatively efficiently on those type of maps. Obviously, you have combos like, you know, 2-sword style Goro, now with the Geppo coming out. So as far as PvP, there's nothing that needs to be mentioned, but I feel like some people really underestimate Goro's PvE capabilities. Even I sometimes have underestimated its PvE capabilities. Definitely is not bad. I mean, it's got some decent damage, although high cooldowns. Not as much high AoE. It's solid for both, no matter how you look at it. Ult's good. It's got Lightning Wrath. Obviously, you guys get the point. Last one, Hiei. Last one in A tier, wrapping up A tier, Hiei. Pretty much a similar story to Goro. Now, I would say Hiei is probably a little worse than Goro for PvE. Actually, no, that's unanimous. Everyone's got to admit that Hiei is worse than Goro for PvE because Hiei is not known for its damage. While Hiei may have some decent AoE, the damage is not there, but the stuns are decent, so it could lead to, you know, team combinations in terms of PvE. Also, Hiei is pretty good for 2v2s as well. So, you know, very good choice no matter how you look at it.
I think, you know, this is a solid A tier. Not too many controversial picks in my opinion, at least. Coming up in the last one, S tier. The top tier, the top dogs. A lot of these will be familiar faces for you guys, or familiar fruits. Not really much hot takes on this at all. Starting out with Magu. Do I even really need to explain anything about Magu? I mean, in terms of PvE, when it comes to top fruits, you'll always hear one of two names, Magu or Pika. When you think about it, like, let me just break this down to you. Insane damage, and I feel like one thing people forget is that you can get high damage on Magu without even needing to put a million points into it. You can only put, like, let's say you put only like 400 points in Magu, you're still doing really good damage. Every single move is good for PvE. Magu Fish, Magu Hound, Magu Reption, and Swamp. Obviously, Magu Rain is crazy. So literally every single one of Magu's moves in PvE can be utilized as a spam, you know, and for damage. So in terms of PvE, it's crazy. Same with PvP too. Like, especially after the new buffs, Fishman buffs, Magu use has been going crazy in PvP. Magu use has been going crazy. So I mean, that's why this fruit's top tier. I mean, like, I feel like there can't be no disputes with that. Pika, pretty much same thing. Again, anytime anyone brings up a top tier fruit for PvE, it's either Pika or Magu that gets mentioned. Pika with Light Ray, Light Kick, I mean, Jewels of Light, Mirror Kick, all solid moves for PvE, dungeons. Not to mention, it also does have a get out of jail card. If you're ever about to die, you can just pop Pika Flight, get out of danger. That's also really helpful when you're in the overworld trying to get from island to island. So for convenience sake, it's really good. Now, Pika, in my opinion, is not that good for PvP. It's not bad, but like, there's just a lot of better choices for PvP. So this the Pika does get hard carried by its PvE capabilities or grinding capabilities, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of why I placed that where I placed it.
Wrapping it up with Suna and Mera. Now, these two fruits got here because of their insane PvE capabilities. Starting off with Mera, we all know what Mera can do. I mean, it's got really good burn damage, Fireflight, and dungeons. It's literally got the fastest dungeon record out of any of the fruits. It can solo Colosseum in like 12 minutes. Busted, like, no matter what you do. Like, okay, we all know Mera is not as good for PvP because, you know, the lack of combos. You know, it's just kind of spam, big damage. Can't really do combos with Mera. But for PvE, no one can deny it's definitely tied up there with the best because fastest dungeons, really good for Cupid's dungeons as well. Decent mobility with the Flame Flight. You can also cheese people, you know, cheese bosses, cheese dungeons with the Flame Flight. And overall damage is just crazy. Same thing with Suna. Suna is like literally like a miniature version of Mera, and that's kind of why I placed, you know, Suna where I did. Because as far as dungeons, Suna is also really good for that as well. Suna is also easily good for Cupid's Dungeon as well. You know, you can solo that. My boy Chase has got a guide on that if you guys want to go watch that. So yeah, these two fruits for PvE, really top tier. PvP, they're good as well. I would say Suna is better than Mera for PvP because you can actually do combos and you can actually do insane combos with Suna in PvP. But other than that, that's wrapping up S tier, guys. Hopefully y'all boys enjoyed this video. Like I said, there was definitely some hot take in here, but the whole point of a hot take is, you know, to give my input and my opinion on that. If you guys don't agree, that's completely fine. Whole point of a hot take. Hopefully y'all are having a great day, and I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.